A white paper will be launched today calling on the federal government to establish an Australian space agency.
The Space Industry Association report says urgent reform is needed so the country isn't left behind. And joining us now live to discuss this again, SkyNews Sydney reporter Caroline Marcus. Well, good morning, Caroline. What else are we expecting to come out of the report today?
Well, good morning, Amy. Yes, the main aim of this report is to say to the federal government that we do need an Australian space agency. We are one of only 2 OECD countries not to have our own domestic space agency. Even New Zealand has one. It's only Australia and Iceland that don't. And so far, what this white paper is really arguing is that we need to go beyond being a mere consumer of space services that have been kindly lent to us or given to us on the cheap from other countries and establish our own agency so we can do more in outer space instead of actually doing most of our space work from the ground. So I'm here at the moment at the Australian Centre for Space Engineering Research, which was one of the contributors to this white paper. And the white paper also argues that we should be increasing our market share, which is currently about 0.8% of the global economy in space work, to double that in the next 5 years, and beyond that, increase it by 5 times over 20 years so we can get more revenue, we can be more involved in that final frontier. But what's also interesting about the space is that this weekend, a satellite that was produced here, and it's the first time in 15 years that a satellite has been produced in Australia, will be launched to the International Space Station. So come over here and have a look at this. It's pretty cool. This is what the inside of that satellite is going to look like. It's called a CubeSat, and it's really that small. Don't ask me what any of these wires do, guys, but the professor will be explaining that shortly to us a little bit later today. This is what the outer frame of that satellite will look like. It's actually made out of a 3D printing material. So at the same time as this satellite will be going out into outer space to measure the thermosphere, this will also be experimenting with how 3D materials do in space. It'll make it a lot cheaper to make satellites in the future if it's found to be effective. So this is one of 3 Australian satellites that will be launched this weekend from Cape Canaveral in Florida. It's very exciting times for Australian space scientists. Back to you guys.
It sure is, Carolyn. Thanks very much. Appreciate the update.